What is up everyone, and welcome to some more F1 23 League Racing, and we are here for round number 3 of Season 3 of the Streamers and Co VRL, and we're going to be at the Mexico City Grand Prix, and I'm hoping that we can bounce back from what was a difficult race last time out in Las Vegas. We got caught up in multiple incidents, embroiled in controversy, and ended up just outside of the points in P11 after we got a post-race penalty for taking out Regmeister. So I'm hoping that we can go a little bit better here today, hopefully get ourselves back into the points. I want to be a regular points feature this season, and I feel like I do have the potential to do just that. So yeah, we are going to be taking part in the qualifying first, and hopefully I'll be able to qualify quite far up the order. Mexico, as I'm sure some of you might know, not one of my strongest tracks on the F1 calendar. Famously, in career mode, for example, I don't really tend to do that well around here due to struggles with things like grip. I've often wondered whether the setup I have going on here perhaps isn't the best one that I could go for. But in any case, I think I'm just going to stick with what I've got for this, and hopefully we can contend with some of the people around us, race with the likes of Phil and Jermaine and you know, the usual suspects that I find myself racing with throughout the Streamers and Co seasons that we've done so far. So here we are. First flying lap wasn't great, mostly because I accidentally overloaded on fuel. So yeah, we did a 1:18.6. Phil was further ahead of me on a 1:16.8 at that point, so I was thinking to myself, right, well, that's going to be the target then, hopefully get into sort of the 1:16s or something like that. Unfortunately, my former teammate Beak had a few struggles with lag and whatnot, and blocked me quite heavily in qualifying there, cost me quite a bit of time. And yeah, in the end, we did actually finish this lap, and we did actually also improve, as you can see, coming around to the final corner. We do manage to be about a 10th up on our best time, but still, it's nowhere near the level of improvement I've been looking for. And so we're going to have to hope on our final flying lap we can give it absolutely everything and deliver what I'm hoping will be maybe at least a 1:17. And fortunately, it seems like that will be the case, because we are 6/10 up going into the final sector on our final flying lap. We lose a bit of time coming into this corner. However, I'm sure that we can gain it back going through the next sequence of corners, hopefully, and we can see what level of improvement we can get as we come out of the final corner now, and we're going to come up to the line and cross it. It's a 1:17.6, good enough for P11 at the moment, but we will see if anybody else can improve over the course of the session and see where I qualify come the end of the qualifying session. It is going to be P13 for us. One of our worst qualifyings in the Streamers and Co VRL, to be honest. But you know, it's early days. Definitely not too far away from the points. We've got Jermaine and KK directly ahead of us, and race pace wise, I feel like I'm typically a little bit better than those guys, so I'm hoping that we can contend a little bit better here. But congratulations to Lewis and Dustin and Liam, the top 3 from qualifying there. Alex actually P4, despite the fact that you know, he's leading the championship at the moment. You would have maybe expected him to do a little bit better there. And then my teammate for this race only, standing in for Anto, who couldn't make it this weekend. It is Bjarni, the Faroese driver, who I am very much looking forward to having as my teammate. One of my favourite people on the grid, even despite some incidents that may have occurred between us in the past. I think he's a really nice guy, and actually a very solid racing driver as well. Really starting to find a bit of form in this league now that he's a reserve driver. Seems like the pressure's off a little bit for him, and he's just able to you know, come in every week and deliver a good points finish. So yeah, respect to him, and hopefully in the Alpine, me and him can get a good points finish to hopefully put ourselves in the fight for the Constructors' Championship. But I mean, Ferrari are already a fair whack ahead of us, in no small part due to the fact that Alex is very much leading this championship right now. And yeah, we are going to be going on the medium tyres here first, and then I think we're going to go to a set of soft tyres afterwards. I don't like the idea of starting the stint on soft tyres, or starting my race on soft tyres, I should say. But I think starting on you know, the medium tyres should hopefully be a little bit nicer for us, and we will see what we can do as we get ready to go here in Mexico City, and we will see if we can get a good start as the lights come on. And the lights go out, and we've had a very good getaway compared to Jermaine there. I think we're definitely going to jump him off the start. The lights went out very quickly. I think it caught a few people out, no more so than Phil, who is gradually losing position after position after position. We're going to go steaming past him with the battery, as well as our superior straight line speed. I think he's very much on a high downforce setup there. A lot of differences in setup here today, as I almost take out Taz there, but fortunately I managed to just avoid doing that. We're going to see if we can go around the outside of him now. He pinches us off the track a little bit there, but just about leaves us enough room. Yeah, lots of difference in setup here. Some people opting for high downforce, some people opting for high top speed. We'll see which one prevails. I'm on a high top speed one. As Phil hits Taz up the inside, we have to go off the track to avoid being taken out there, and we are up into P11. So we've had a decent start here, made a couple of positions. Obviously there were a few people around us who also had some very good starts. KK up into 9th, and we will see whether we can go forward from here to hopefully get ourselves into the points. And yeah, I'm optimistic about our chances of grabbing some points here. With KK in front of us as well, I'm hoping that it should be okay. Meanwhile, there's a Mercedes out there. It's Liam. He's hit the wall on the exit of the corner. I'm not sure if there was an oversteer moment for him or something like that. But the virtual safety car is out, and we are up into the points. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to stay in the points for the remainder of the race now. You know, still another 24 laps to go as we speed through the VSC here a little bit. We're right on the back of Nathan. A few cars here going quite slowly, I guess, because the Delta's a bit weird around here. And eventually we'll get to the point where the VSC will be ending and we can get ready to go racing again. And maybe we'll be able to get the jump on Nathan, although he's not in a particularly good position for us to be able to do that. We thought about having a look up the inside there. In the end, all I did was compromise my run through the corner, and yeah, we have to settle in for P10 at the moment. We've got a number of cars ahead of us who I think we can mount a challenge on, including this man here, KK, in the McLaren. I think we have a very good chance of going for an overtake here. Nathan, no DRS, we're going to go for the overtake here, and KK as well, potentially. Are we going to make it 2 overtakes on the straight? Yes, we are. We're up into P8, and we're only 1 position behind our teammate Bjarni now, and maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to catch up with him as well to try and get a bit of a fight going on in the Alpine camp. We've got the DRS here as well, so hopefully KK won't catch us on the run down to this corner, although he is very close. Opts against going for a move on me there, and that is us up into P8 for the time being. That is a wonderful overtake from myself. Double overtake. One of the better overtakes I've certainly made in this league so far. And, well, I'm certainly feeling like I'm improved coming into Season 3 compared to how I was in Season 2. Even if you know, the lineup obviously has evolved and changed quite a lot since Season 1. I don't know how many drivers that raced in Season 1 are still racing here in Season 3. I think it's only about 7 or 8 if I had to guess. Not too many people still here. But this man, of course, who's just overtaken me there, the man who put it all together, Phil Skills, getting the overtake done up into P8, and yeah, drives off into the sunset a little bit after that. We're going to see if we can keep KK behind, though. You can see he's 8/10 down on us at the moment. Surely with the DRS he's not going to be able to get close enough to go for a move. And indeed, a safety car has come out, so he definitely won't be able to make a move now. And I think, you know, we are probably going to have to adjust the strategy here, if I had to guess, because this is definitely a prime opportunity to pit, but certainly going onto the soft compound tyres from here would not be the play. So we're going to go onto a set of hard compound tyres, and it's times like this I kind of regretted a little bit going on to the softer tyre allocation, because it meant that I didn't have any medium tyres to go onto there, which I probably would have done, to be honest with you, had that happened. I know what you're thinking, but you started on mediums, and the answer is yes, but there is some rain supposedly hitting us in about 10-15 minutes from now. So I felt like, you know, another set of mediums might do another 10 laps around here, and then we would be able to switch on to perhaps a set of intermediate tyres once the rain starts to come in about, you know, 10 or so laps time, if I had to guess. Especially with the safety car, you know, there definitely will be a crossover point now, I reckon. We go a little bit wide on the exit of the final corner there, and that kind of compromises our run on Phil, so we're going to have to see now if we can catch him. We're closing up to him very, very quickly. Like I said, he's on a very high downforce setup. Is it going to prove to be the move for him? He defends to the inside as we dummy, and now we're going to try and go around the outside, but will we be able to make the overtake? I don't think so. Obviously, if there's one place that Phil is going to be faster here, it's going to be in the corners, and so he's able to hold on for now, and with no DRS, there's probably no opportunity for us to get past Phil now, as we're going to have to settle into P9. I don't know if that means that somebody didn't box under the safety car, because I'm pretty sure we were P8 before the safety car, but we will see what unfolds in that regard. Maybe it was somebody who'd already boxed, I'm not really sure. But as we make our way now onto lap 11, Phil has broken away a little bit. Meanwhile, we've got Taz and Nathan for company here. They are both quite close behind. They'll both have the DRS, so we're going to have to try and do what we can to defend from them. Just about we managed to keep Taz behind, but he's going to try and go for a move up the inside anyway, and we're going to be wheel to wheel going through the next sequence of corners, trying to give him enough space. I think we've just about managed to hold on to that, and in fact Nathan has made his way up into P10 now. Can he go one better and make a move up into P10 as well? I don't know if that's going to be quite possible for him, but yeah, it just seems like we did have the superior pace there. Not actually sure if the DRS was enabled. I think it might be enabled next lap, so I might be wrong about that. But in any case, I am very slow through the corners today, as you're about to see. I haven't shown you too many of my runs through this sequence of corners yet. Nathan was on my outside there, so I had to stick to the inside. That compromised my whole run through the sequence of corners. But as you can see, I just don't really have the grip to go through these corners, as Nathan tags me from behind a little bit. Fortunately, I don't think he got any damage, but now I think he's going to try and go for a move around the outside as we get into this next corner, and indeed he does. And yeah, we stay in P10 now, but Taz goes for a very opportunistic move there. We try and go back around the outside of him there, but he closes off the gap. It was his right to do that. He was just about far enough ahead to do that, so whilst I was very frustrated, I couldn't be too angry. If there had been a contact moment there, it would have been my fault, so I had to back out. And we're just going to see if we can get back ahead of Taz now, now that the DRS has been enabled, so it wasn't enabled before. But actually we have a pretty good run on both of these guys, I guess because they're running slightly higher downforce than I am. So yeah, we definitely are looking good in the straight line department, as Taz and Nathan make a bit of contact there, and Taz gets up into P9. Meanwhile, KK we have for company once again. Is he going to go for a move on me here? I do have pretty good straight line speed, as you can see, closing down Nathan quite quickly. But yeah, KK can't go for the move subsequently, so we are going to hold on to P11 for now. But yeah, my pace around here just seems to be lacking a little bit. It really feels like I'm struggling compared to these guys quite a lot, and I think that's largely down to setup. I think I might have the wings just maybe a little bit too low on this occasion, because you know, I'm running a very low downforce, high top speed setup. And that's allowed KK to now overtake me as well. We're going to see if we can go back around the outside of him here. And yeah, I mean, with the setup I'm running, that was a very wishful thinking moment, I must be honest with you. When we get onto the start of lap 16 now, you can see that it is visibly getting a lot darker out, and the you know, the rain definitely feels like it's not too far away at all. But I am managing to overtake KK nonetheless. He actually goes quite deep into the corner by the looks of things. Maybe we were lucky not to make contact there, I'm not sure. And RC is out of the session. He becomes the second retirement after Captain Liam. Only 19 races here because we had a no-show. But yeah, definitely you can see the drops of rain now coming down. They're saying we're still on the right tyres for the time being. But as you'll see, a few cars are actually coming into the pit lane on this lap to box for intermediate tyres. That to me seemed like a bit of a mistake. I know the rain can come down quite quickly sometimes, but I would have at least waited until the weather report was saying that we were on the crossover point. Because when I check the weather report here as I go past the pit lane, you'll see they're still saying that dry is the fastest tyre, so I'm not really sure what people were getting out of pitting on this lap. It's promoted me up into P6, and I'm hoping I should be able to close down some of the cars in front as well. We're only a few seconds off the leaders here, and if I've played this right, then we could be in for a pretty good result here. And we will see now as we come around the 17th lap of the race. I'm still checking the thing; it's still telling me dry's the best tyres, but the track is visibly getting wetter and wetter. And yeah, eventually they tell me to go onto the intermediate tyres. So, you know, I have to abide by that, because if the game thinks it's time, it definitely is time. Stayed Body making a very easy overtake on me there. Meanwhile, Alex and Lewis have gapped me by about 4 or 5 seconds over the course of this lap. Certainly the play was probably to pit on the previous lap. However, we may have been bailed out here a little bit by the fact that the safety car is out, and therefore we're going to get a bit of a cheaper pit stop here. So fortunately for me, my apprehensiveness to go into the pits on the lap before has also been my my saving grace here a little bit, because it means that I'm going to get a cheaper pit stop than I would have done if there had been no safety car. and should hopefully bring us out of the pits here ahead of some of the cars we were racing with beforehand. I think Nathan is just about going to be ahead of me here, but Taz is going to be quite significantly far behind. In fact, he's actually pitted again, putting himself out of contention. We were racing with Jermaine and KK before the pit stops, and they're quite far down on us now. So yeah, we're looking pretty good here, I would say. Certainly in the argument for points here, and I'm just going to be hoping that I can continue making my way through the field once the safety car restarts, which is going to at the end of lap 19. So we're going to have about 6 laps of racing at the end here to decide how many points I can score here. My best finish this season is P7. We all know how good I can be in the wet. Obviously, it's only intermediate conditions, which isn't quite the same. Seems like there was a lot of contact moment going on there, and Ryan's actually come into the pits as a result of that. Not sure what happened there. It just seemed like lots of people went into the back of each other. I later found out that was due to some kind of throttle limiter glitch that happened to the front runners, where maybe they went a tad early and the safety car hadn't crossed the safety car line yet. As we're going to go for a move here on Nathan up the inside. Well, I know how fast we are in the wet weather, but will we be able to make the move on the Alfa Romeo driver? I don't think we will on this occasion. We're going to be burning quite a lot of battery. We'll see if we can tuck in to the slipstream and see if we can get the superior straight line speed on him. And we are going to go for a move around the outside once again. He defends to the inside. Meanwhile, I think Phil's got some kind of damage as well here because he is going very slowly. He's gone off the track. And he's going to allow me and Nathan to go through to continue our battle as he stays around the outside of me here. And we've been wheel to wheel for basically the entire first half of this lap. But eventually he has to concede the position because he would have been on the inside line there, and we were going for a bit of an accident. I get a big oversteer moment there. My life flashed before my eyes as we got onto the curb a bit too much, but we've managed to hold on to it for now. I'm going to have to burn quite a lot of battery though on this straight, otherwise I think Nathan's going to go for an overtake on me. We've managed to hold on to the position still, but you know, this is a very nervy time for me. P7 for Nathan, P8 for myself as he goes for the overtake up the inside now, and yeah, we're going to be battling tooth and nail with him for P7 if I had to imagine. Maybe KK and Jermaine can get themselves involved in the fight, although KK does of course have that 6-second penalty, which I think will probably put him out of any kind of contention here. Meanwhile, mine and Nathan's battling has done wonders for Bjarni out in front, who now even with a 3-second penalty is significantly further ahead of us. Perhaps there would have been a chance for me to stay with him. Stayed body also with a 6-second penalty, and we're battling with Nathan again as we go for an overtake here again, and we're up into P7. So maybe we can try and close down Bjarni and stayed body here, and well, we could be on for a P5 here potentially with the penalties applied. Just doing a quick double check on the weather to make sure that it's definitely still into conditions, that there's no chance it's going to go to full wets. I think even if it does this late in the race, there's still not really an incentive to switch unless you're right at the back. You might want to maybe think about trying something. But yeah, I think we've managed to make the move work on Nathan for the time being. But you know how slow I am through that sequence of corners, and as a result, he's only within 0.2 of me now. So yeah, he could potentially be going for an overtake here as we get onto the main straight once again. He does seem to have the superior exit, so there's only about a 1/10 between us. They're telling us the track is drying out a little bit. I don't have that much battery to burn, so we're going to be wheel to wheel on the run down to the first corner. And as we get into the first corner, he shoves me a little bit. He just knocks into me, slight contact. It forces me to go off track a little bit there. I didn't get a warning, fortunately for me. But yeah, he pushed me off track there. And after that, he managed to just, you know, because it compromised my line so much, he broke away quite significantly, and I didn't really see anyone for the rest of the race. So yeah, Lewis wins the race. This one is going to stand, unlike last week when he got penalised for an incident involving me as well. And well, we've managed to keep it fairly clean here. I was a bit aggrieved about that incident with Nathan, but we are going to round the final corner here in Mexico City to take P8 in the race. And well, I was pretty happy with that, I have to admit, but things got even better for me, because as you're about to see, as we finish the race now, yeah, I was classified P8 in the race, but well, the driver of the day accolade goes to none other than me, which I think is one of the first times in this league I've actually managed to get driver of the day, so I was very, very happy with that one. And not only that, but you won't see the standings post-race penalties applied here, but Nathan actually did get a 5-second penalty for that contact with me. The stewards judged that there was basically no reason for him to hit me there, and it did force me to go off track. So that, as a result, that promoted me up into P7, and we've got another 6 points in this championship, which is pretty good. Puts us P11 in the standings, and you can see the podium here. In the end was Lewis, Dustin, and Alex. So Alex will be extending his championship lead after a few victories earlier in the season. He's managed to make his way into a very, very strong position in the championship now. But here we are on the final standings. It was Lewis from Dustin from Alex. Then we had Reg and Bjarni, Stayed Body. Myself was P7 because Nathan got that penalty. And then Nathan P8, Jermaine P9, and Denzel in his first race in the league, taking home a single solitary point. KK got a penalty, which meant Costa went up into P11. And then it was KK, Phil, Beak, and Taz, the classified drivers here. That is pretty much all we have time for in this race, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure that you like and subscribe. The next race in the league is going to be the French Grand Prix, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.